Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Caddick Reviews, the first one of the 2019 year. And it's a good one because it's another Netflix original. God, Netflix keeps hammering these suckers out as fast as I can get through with reviewing one. But this one has some personal stake in it. As all of you might know, I am a gamer by trade, and back when I was in grade school, bouncing between regular classes and special ed purgatory, I had the opportunity to use many a computer. Most of them given to me because the school had to, and one of them and several of them were IBM computers, as well as old Macintoshes. In those days of early schooling when I wasn't procrastinating on my homework and being a general pain to all my teachers, if I got all the work done, I would be able to play several different games. You know, your Oregon Trails, your Master Blasters, and the like and your Map Blasters, but one that I would often come back to repeatedly happens to be the subject in a way of this review. The world famous geography / detective games, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Now, some of you might remember it for the PC game, while others, especially 90s kids, knows it for its very successful game show variant that PBS used to do. You know, the one with Rockapella doing the theme music, and of course its follow-up, short-lived, Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. Of course, there were books and many a thing that Carmen would be into. Space, the entire country of the USA, time travel, you know, the like. It spread like a wildfire. These games were highly successful, and in terms of outside game products, it was also successful as well, on top of the successful PBS shows that I just mentioned. There was a very highly successful cartoon called Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego back in the old Fox Kids lineup. You can actually catch it on active TV now due to a network known as Cubo, QUBO, that sometimes airs the old reruns. But why bring it up in terms of Netflix? Did they get the license to the old Where on Earth cartoons? No, they actually created a cartoon themselves. That's right, Carmen is back after nearly 20 years of being literally off the entertainment radar. The old Scarlet Thief is back, fedora in hand. But what you might know about this one is it's a little different. Voiced by Gina Rodriguez, Carmen is still a thief, still being chased by the elusive active detective agency. But in a modern twist, she is not so much of a bad girl. You see, she's more Robin Hood in this variation more so than the world's greatest super thief, although she is still that. Taking a page oddly from the recent She-Ra, Princesses of Power, Carmen was an orphan. Again, also making references directly to She-Ra. She grew up under the tutelage of the evil Vile Syndicate. The one that in the games, oddly enough, she leads with her crew of henchmen. But this time, she's flipped sides. But for anybody that knows the standard PC games and the actual lore of Carmen Sandiego, and yes, it is actually existent. She used to be a former Acme agent before turning and flipping the other cheek to the super criminal that we all know and pseudo love. This acts as a reboot slash prequel slash origin story to that, although the origin story takes place in the first 2 episodes and they are expertly done, setting all the players you'll need in motion except for Acme, all in the span of that first hour. Now, one of the drawbacks is there's only 8 episodes of this series so far, which is even less than what She-Ra got. She-Ra got a full 13 episode ride, and most shows on Netflix get 10. Could it be partially because of the animation used here? A rather unique abstract animation that at first takes some adjusting for the eyeballs, but one thing it does do well is highlight the use of light and shadow and background, which is perfect for a show about thievery. See, Carmen in this version is more of a Latina James Bond more than anything else, seeing that she prevents the major criminals of Vile, most of them being her own classmates that she learned alongside, from stealing famous artifacts from around the world. And it wouldn't be Carmen Sandiego without some geography education, which this show provides. In smaller nuggets, although this series is more focused on the action and the character building than previous incarnations of the series, the geography education and use of facts are still there. They're sprinkled in within the plot expositions of the different capers and sometimes between character dialogue. It's really blink and you'll miss it sort of stuff, but in other words, the education is still existent. Carmen is not alone though. She's got herself a small little group of white hat hackers led by the codename of Player, a reference back to Where on Earth. In fact, her cohorts could be in themselves references to Where on Earth, because her other 2 cohorts are Zack and Ivy, although these are not the Zack and Ivy from Where on Earth. These are 2 fast-talking, brash New Yorkers. And you can tell the accent right away with these 2. But just like the Where on Earth version of Zack and Ivy, this brother and sister team work well but don't always get along. They help assist Carmen with disguises and other things, getaway cars and the like, but mostly act as comedic sometimes, mainly Zach, but very competent tag-alongs. The major tag-along, though, is Claire. Her outside ears and eyes around the world, providing plane tickets, other getaways, and getting her from point A to point B, and everything in between. But not to be outdone, the offices of Vile have characters all of their own. The mysterious Lord Shadow Son, one of Carmen's lead teachers, Coach Blunt, Miss Cleo, among others, make up the hierarchy of the Vile Academy, in which they teach young thieves to the next level, some of them being Carmen's rivals, like El Gojo and Tigress, among others, each with their own distinct personalities, if not backstories. But of course, it wouldn't be Carmen Sandiego without the buzz now, would it? And the buzz is mainly led by these two Interpol turned Acme detectives. Julia Argent, the smart one, the one that is also a geography buff and knows the small little incandescent facts, willing to ask questions of whether Carmen's truly a bad girl. But of course, she has to be laced up with the incompetent French-speaking Inspector Claude, who is determined by hook or by crook and his own stupidity to catch Carmen. So much so that he gets enlisted, as well as Argent, into Acme, led by its mysterious Men in Black style chief, loaded with their own technology. They want to stop Vile because they know the truth of their criminal enterprise, and often try to confuse Carmen as a Vile agent, which makes a play on what we currently know. But of course, Carmen's only playing one side of the fence, the right side of the fence. She plays more like a criminal Tomb Raider, trying to preserve historical artifacts and make sure they stay in the proper place and out of the hands of Vile. And she's also the charitable sort. Now, yes, I know what some might say. This screams of women empowerment. But it does it in a smart, educated, and not as forced way as She-Ra does. Carmen is an instantly likable, suave, and charming character with a brain to match, but also with her team of handy hands. It's a good, innocent team to root for. Acme, although a little bit more shady than our femme fatale, is also on the right side of the law, trying to do the right thing. They're just not as transparent and violent. Although, with a criminal enterprise and its own training academy, isn't necessarily the stupid villains of the week. They're just outsmarted by a greater and more educated force who's looking to do the right thing. Music is very smartly used and heightens up the action. The voice acting, of course, is done expertly well. There's no mistaking these voices as not unique, and they really stand out. Each character really pops due to the animation style, especially in moments of light or darkness. It's really when they're moving or you're looking at still shots that the animation can get disoriented. But with not too much filler and with more than enough backstory to fill in the gaps, but not all of them. Not every question is answered in season 1 naturally, but enough information has got you intrigued enough to sit through the simple hour or two that this is. Carmen Sandiego, I'm glad to have it back. Although this interpretation might be something unexpected. It's the unexpectedism that makes this version of the beloved Super Feed something to watch out for. The animation style is an acquired taste. It might not fit everybody, but the geography, educational value, and the better emphasis on character is much needed. With this version of Carmen, we know more about her than we've ever known, and the world she inhabits, which is a good thing. And its semi-serialized nature keeps everything intact. Well, each of the individual episodes past episode 3 can also be appreciated individually. That's why I'm proud to give Carmen Sandiego one of my highest recommendations. In fact, the highest recommendation, a 10 out of 10, or I'll watch it or stream it if you prefer. This series is only 8 episodes long, so it's only 3 hours long so far. But in those 3 hours, the world, the characters within it, and the stakes are laid bare. Carmen is suave, debonair, and totally rootable, while the plot lines going on around her keep the intrigue and mystery in place, and the educational geography information that Carmen Sandiego is known for is present and accounted for. So, tell me your thoughts on Carmen Sandiego down in the comments in all forms. I'd like to know what you thought of the new version, but as well as the old versions as well. And until next time, I gotta get myself a fedora, perfectly yellow or gold one, and I'm Nirvana Sparkle. Find peace in your own Nirvana. Thanks for watching.